Good morning, and I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and discuss your interests in nutrition health.
Good morning.
I want to start off by asking if you have any questions or concerns for me that I may be able to answer during the session.
No, I don't have any questions.
I'm going to go ahead and start off with some basic questions so that we can get a foundation of what we will be looking at.
Okay.
May I ask you your age?
65.
Right. Do you know your current height and weight?
My height is 5'5" and my weight is 130 pounds.
Right. In the past 2 or 3 months, have you lost or gained more than 5 pounds?
No.
Right, that's good. Are you still working?
No, I'm retired.
Congratulations. Do you have any medical history that I may need to know about?
I'm a breast cancer survivor and I have osteoporosis and diabetes type 2.
Right. Do you have any allergies? And this could also include food and medication allergies as well.
I have mild allergies to some foods. I have allergies to Tylenol and to bee stings.
Right? And what type of mild allergies to food?
Well, occasionally my lips will swell and I'll have to take a Benadryl to cause the swelling to go down. And the allergist suggested that it was a combination of my hay fever, my immune system gearing up because of my hay fever, and vitamin C.
But is that what you're allergic to? Is vitamin C? What type of food are you allergic to?
Well, he said that is very hard to determine, and so he just told me to cut down on vitamin C during the times that I had those flare-ups, and I also get hives.
So it's when you notice that you eaten items that contain vitamin C is when that happens?
Yes, like I first noticed it every year at strawberry season. I'd eat a lot of strawberries and I would get hives.
Is there any time that you eat vitamin C and it doesn't happen? Like drink orange juice or eat oranges or anything like that?
Yes, I mean, I can eat strawberries in the wintertime because I'm only eating a few at a time. But during strawberry season, I eat a lot. And it's just the extra vitamin C in addition to my hay fever that's acting up at the same time causing, or that's what he suspects is causing it in the spring.
Okay. Are you currently taking any medications which could include multivitamins and supplements?
I take calcium and vitamin D, and then I take Femera, letrozole, and I take metformin ER.
And on the supplements, how much of each are you taking?
I take 200 milligrams of calcium twice a day, so total 400. I take 1,000 IU vitamin D tablet per day.
Okay. Are you currently able to exercise?
Yes,
And what are you doing for daily exercises? And how many times a week are you doing it?
I try to exercise, or I try to get some cardio exercise in at least 6 days a week, and it's either walking with my dog, or going to the gym and walking on the treadmill. I've recently started resistance training, and I'm doing that twice a week.
Right. And how long ago did you start this resistance training?
A couple of weeks ago, I've had 4 sessions.
Where do you eat most of your meals?
I eat most of my meals here.
All right. And do you make these yourself, or do you have someone else make them for you?
I make them here.
All right. And then, how many times a week, or maybe a month, do you eat out?
I would say less than once a week, probably 3 times a month.
Okay. Could you tell me what an average day worth of eating would be like? You know, what you normally would have for breakfast and then lunch and dinner?
Most mornings for breakfast, I have 3/4 cup of whole grain Cheerios, 3/4 cup of fat-free milk, 3/4 cup of blueberries, and 2 pieces of turkey sausage, and a cup of coffee.
And then,
Then for lunch, I'll have like a turkey sandwich with avocado on a wheat bun, and usually an apple. And then for dinner, a typical dinner would be salmon, sweet potato, and broccoli. And then I usually have another piece of fruit at dinner. I also eat 2 snacks a day. One in the morning, and then between breakfast and lunch, and then another one between lunch and dinner. And typically it's 100-calorie pack of plain almonds and 10 wheat thins.
right. And then you give me pretty specific measurements on breakfast and all that. Do you measure everything that you eat on a regular basis?
I do measure out my cereal in the morning because it's a lot of carbs with that meal, and I'm diabetic, so I have to measure my carbs. I've had it for a while, so usually at lunch and dinner I know that the wheat bun is 19 carbs, so I don't have to measure things, and I know the size of the apple to eat. I usually don't have to measure things at lunch and dinner, but I always measure out breakfast.
Right. And you mentioned a couple medical conditions earlier, as well as diabetes just now. Are you doing anything specific other than just eating 3 meals and snacks? As far as food, are you doing anything specific?
Well, I'm trying to eat whole grains and complex carbohydrates. It's very difficult sometimes because especially diabetics, I think, crave sugar. And so occasionally I'll go off the wagon and eat sugar, but the majority of my carbohydrates are complex.
All right. Are you aware of the USDA has a thing called Super Tracker? Are you aware of something called by that?
No, I'm not familiar with that at all.
All right. Well, it's a free online tool that helps you input all your foods throughout the day, and it gives you your total calorie intake and nutritional input. So, currently, are you aware of roughly how many calories you eat each day, and are you tracking those?
Well, occasionally I will use my I think I'm hitting maybe around 1,600 calories a day. That's what I'm supposed to take in for my diabetes is 1,600. Um,
And who told you that you're supposed to be taking 1,600 calories?
well, when I was originally diagnosed in '08 or early '09, I met one time with a dietitian, and she told me 1,600 calories.
Okay. Um, you mentioned that you prepare all your own food for the most part. What type of cooking do you do with your meals? And do you normally eat pre-made meals or highly processed foods?
I try to stay away from highly processed foods. I usually grill my chicken, my steak, my hamburger, my fish. When I do fry it, I might just fry it in a little bit of olive oil. I try to eat healthy fats. I use some canned tomatoes and things like that, but for the most part, I try to stay away from prepackaged. Except for my morning coffee, I do use packaged creamer for that.
Okay. That's for the most part. That's about all the questions that I have. I'd also like to ask you to fill out a 24-hour food intake, which I just need you to write down everything that you eat or drink within 24 hours, and be as specific as possible, such as, like you said, one cup of whole grain Cheerios and a half cup milk, or if you have 3 ounces of chicken and a half cup of rice and a half cup of broccoli. Write down that for me. Then what I'm going to do is take all this information and put it on the USDA's superfood tracker and run the stats on that, and I will get back with you as far as your average calories and nutritional intake, and we'll discuss what we can do to help improve it. All right?
Okay, that sounds good. I would really be interested in seeing that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.